But is it equal? I mean, they're still making, what, 20 cents less on the dollar to men? So
right.
I would say right there it's not equal. To go back to feminism being sexy, I think, for me, I'd have to define what sexy is. I think certain feminists are not sexy to me. But that's not to say that they're not sexy to another individual. And what I mean by that is like someone who's super aggressive and always consistently pointing out the inequities, which I don't find that as a problem, but that's not sexy to me. But what's sexy to me is, I think much more basic, probably, than the average
whole
human
other
being.
video
Yeah,
segment.
exactly. We don't want to get into that.
We don't have enough tape.
But I think it is sexy when a woman is standing her own, fighting for what she believes in, and wanting to be seen as equal to anyone, man, woman, or otherwise. Definitely sexy.
I'd agree with both those things, actually.
Yeah.
The aggressive stuff, I mean, I'm not a sexist person, so I don't need to be constantly confronted with inequality unless I'm treating someone poorly.
Yeah.
So you're right, if someone's getting in your face, I mean, for no particular reason, I wouldn't say that's especially sexy.
Yeah.
But I actually don't see a lot of that, so.
Have you ever had a feminist get up in your face? Physically?
No, never get up in my face physically.
Have you, Spencer?
No. I've been told many times, not many times, I've been told on more than one occasion that I am privileged, I am white, I am tall, I'm a good-looking dude, and so therefore I have, the world is my oyster, and I should realize that or recognize that before they even know who I am or understand where I come from and what I believe in. So I've had that happen before, and that's frustrating. Totally.
Which I think is kind of bullshit anyway, because no one person's experience can encapsulate any other experiences. Everyone's talking from a very personal place. So just because yours happens to be white male and, quote unquote privilege doesn't make it any different than some sort of minority perspective. It's just an individual's perspective.
Totally.
Why do you think some women have a hard time calling themselves feminists?
Exactly what he's talking about.
Do you think
it's
that they
the
worry
perception of
about
what
the
that is.
perception?
I think it's that little voice in their head, because although we've made, great strides in the last, 30, 40, 50 years, and even beyond that, hundreds of years, I think there is still, we're hit every day with these different stereotypes or characteristics of what is right, what is male, what is female, and so I think that although we've gone very far with it and great things have happened, there's still little things that you're hit with, and regardless of whether it's subconsciously or consciously, you probably want to, you still sense that, and so there's something holding them back, certain women from saying, yeah, I'm a feminist, and in a sense it has a negative connotation to certain people. I mean, I think you and I wouldn't say that, but I think there's a big, vast percentage of people that would.
Well, I think simply calling yourself feminist, you're still in some corner of your mind equating yourself with like the sort of regressive conservative definition of feminism, which is kind of this, from that point of view, is very shrill and sort of like nagging and cloying, and that's sort of a dated perception of what feminism is today. But I think that the fear of that designation still probably is inside a lot of women, which makes them avoid wanting to be, I think, identifying themselves first and foremost as feminists.
How do you think men and women can work together to change that perception? And to make it not such a bad word to call yourself a feminist?
Well, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask, because I'm not putting women in a position where they have to define themselves any one way. I sort of interact with people on an individual basis. I'm around a lot of women. Our publishing program is like 90% women, so I spend most of my time around women all the time. And I don't feel like there's any sort of political subtext to our interactions that requires either of us to be feminist or not feminist. So in that sense, we are working together because we're just living our lives and interacting with mutual respect. I think that's all you have to do. I think it wouldn't hurt to like isolate the people who are, kind of a stick in the mud when it comes to those things. But, other than like shaming the people that are just obviously sexist bigots, I don't know if there's much else we need to do other than be polite and respectful toward one another.
Yeah, I think the majority of the work has to be done on the side of men, And I think it would be more productive for other men to highlight the things that need to change to those men. Because I think if it's going to be coming from a woman and they're already in that situation, it's going to be, they're going to take that as that they're going to be that feminist person that people are like, they're going to close off and not hear it. But if it comes from someone like myself who we're seen as equals and I'm on their side and, we have similar experiences, then I think more is going to change. But I think the majority of it has to be done on the side of men, but there's also a small group, and maybe it's not small, I don't know the numbers, but of women that aren't doing anything for the cause, if anything hurting it. So I think there's definitely work that needs to be done on that side as well. How? I don't know. I think, by being polite, by living your life in a good way, by treating everyone as equals. Hopefully that'll bleed through to those harder, permeated individuals.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all want something out of our social interactions. Maybe it sounds like that's, insidious to say, but even our friendships, we're getting something mutual out of it. So if we can get the rewards by being respectful, and that's the best way to get what we all want, that's the thing that we're going to do. So that has to be sort of like brought to the forefront. And again, I think if there's negative consequences for not treating people with respect, that's how we kind of shift it as a society. I also think you're right about men changing, because I think, like, women, even if it's subtle, kind of grow up being aware that they have to stake out their place in society. And I don't think men get, like, the enforcement they have to be a man at any point. I think that's sort of given for them. And, like, fathers have to be around, and you have to have some sort of male influence in your life to teach you how to treat people respectfully.